I would undoubtedly need that time to most the inconsistencies first in my brother's submission this morning and the principled position of the National Democratic Congress as far as this matter is concerned. And most importantly, I think that I also need that time to emphasize the importance of the allegations of vote buying, not just within the politics of the NDC, but to the nation as a whole.
True.
And the need for us to not to approach it with mischief-laced commentary, but rather seek advantage of that opportunity, not just to score political points, but to emphasize that as responsible political actors, the time has come for us to rally around the flag in an effort to nip that unfortunate canker in the bud. I listened to my brother, and quite clearly, on one breath, the NDC did pentinament talk. On another breath, they even have no jurisdiction or legal authority to even have proceeded to annul the results. So what at all does he want? And that is why, if he had taken the nationalistic viewpoint, we would have been making meaningful progress, regardless of our partisan affiliations. And for me, I think that that is the crux of this matter. Why? When the allegations were made, the National Democratic Congress, first and foremost, proceeded to issue a statement. And it's important for you to read that statement. They said that they had taken notice of the allegations of vote buying in the Ayawaso East elections, and that as a political party, they condemn such occurrence if indeed there's something to that effect. And they have proceeded to set up a 3-member committee to look into the matter. Was that not a statement?
Indeed, that was.
At no point did that initial statement coming from party signal an annulment of the elections on that day. Because the party itself appreciated the legal difficulties that what that could have posed. Any annulment could have posed, not just to the party, but also to the individual rights of the participants. That was one. Secondly, after the issuance of that particular statement, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama directed that the Honorable Baba Jamal be recalled. And I've heard so many people make calls to the effect that, including the MPP, but some of them were board members, they should be recalled. At the time that statement came, the presidency's statement was hinged on the open admission that your media network circulated in relation to Baba Jamal, who sought to create the impression that this is something he's been doing for a while, and that even if there is something to that effect, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. So the president was justified on the basis of that public admission of the Honorable Baba Jamal to have issued that statement recalling him from Nigeria. If the presidency had any form of disdain against Baba Jamal, I'm sure that Baba would have been recalled at the time he filed
to contest.
But the presidency didn't. The presidency also could have waited for him to be elected, after which they will now recall him and appoint another person. But the nature of the statement should tell anybody monitoring that indeed the presidency took that decision on the basis of that interview the Honorable Baba Jamal held with your TV station, ChannelOne. The other 3 or 4 aspirants who are also alleged to have been engaged in it, there's no video evidence or admissibility on their part where they have admitted that indeed we have done A, B, and C. So even if they are appointees, at that material moment, it didn't justify any presidential directive on the basis of assumptions for these people to also be removed from their boards. The party has now proceeded to do its own investigations. And the General Secretary yesterday announced that aside Baba Jamal, they have found evidence of impropriety on the part of about 4 or 5 of them. So now there's evidential basis for the presidency to act again. So the General Secretary proceeded on the basis of that evidence to call on His Excellency President Mahama and the government to also take that into account, considering the fact that it was not only Baba Jamal who was caught in that web of impropriety. Are you following the discourse?
Yeah.
So now the presidency would now have a report based on which either to decide to recall the appointments of all the other 5 or not.
Right.
So let us wait. So it was not selective. The president did not engage, presidency did not engage in any selectivity in the case of the recall of Baba Jamal. Because there was video evidence of Baba Jamal's acceptance or justification, I should say, of the allegations. So the president was duty bound to act in line with his oath. And most importantly, the code of ethics for appointees. So now that the investigations are over, they have found out that it was not only the Honorable Baba Jamal, others were also involved, and they are appointees. And the General Secretary has directed, or in fact has made an appeal to the presidency to act in relation to those names. Let us wait and see what the president will do in relation to the other appointees. That's one. So that issue has been settled. Now to the majority statement. The majority, like any other citizen of this country, was entitled to express an opinion on the matter, especially after the party's statement and that of the president's directive against Baba Jamal, his recall. Now, many of us on many media platforms were calling for either the annulment of the resource or punishment to be meted out to those found culpable. These were the calls.
Yeah.
The majority is no exception. They also issued a statement adding their voice to the debate that, look, the election results be annulled. But now, so let us treat the majority's position as a principled position. The party may have disagreed with it. The government may have disagreed with it. Seated here as a communicator of the party, I probably would have had my concerns with that statement. But it was within their right to also make their views known to the party. And that expression of view did not carry any force beyond simply expressing an opinion that from where we sit, this is what should be done.
Even after the party had said it was going to investigate.
Yes, but nothing even when the party announced that, when the party announced that it was going to investigate, people still called on the committee to ensure that they annulled the results openly, publicly. Media men, journalists were calling for the results to be annulled.
But the majority caucus...
It doesn't matter, you see, and that is why we should even commend the NDC. That tells you the level of dissent in the party. And they should be commended, regardless of the outcome of the investigations. So they made calls. So it gives you an indication that the presidency was willing to act. Our majority caucus was willing to take advantage of this situation to act. The party itself was willing to act. Commendable. Never have we ever experienced this since 1992 when it comes to vote buying. So the sincerity was there. But as a political party that is concerned about public rights and individual rights, we had gotten to a stage where the question he posed confronted the committee. One, as a political party, do we have it in our constitution that we have the right to annul election results conducted by the Electoral Commission? These were the questions the committee asked itself. And if you look at our constitution, there's no prescribed rule as to how to cancel election results. So that's one.
But the party knew this before instituting the committee.
That is why the party said that the party never said in the institution of the committee that it will cancel results. It said that the committee will make recommendations. Listen. The committee will make recommendations. Was that not the case? That's what the party statement said. Now, people called for annulment of results, including the majority. It is only proper that the committee takes all these sheets of opinion. The committee comes to the conclusion that even if we recommend annulment of the results, there will still be a legal tussle. Because as to whether or not we have the legal authority to annul the results is another matter. So there was a deadlock. Secondly, another important factor that people take for granted also had to do with the fact that it was not only Baba Jamal who was accused. So you are now dealing with party as an institution against the individual rights of the aspirants. Let us proceed on the assumption that it was Baba Jamal had lost the election and another had won. And Baba was seen on air, live TV, justifying the giving of this and the party wanted to proceed. Would it have been fair for the party to have proceeded on the basis of the admission of Baba Jamal, the Honorable, that what is wrong with this, and proceed to cancel results that favored another candidate who did not engage in that? So these were all critical questions.
The party said it was investigating the allegations, not Baba Jamal.
No, but the allegations was about voter buying. So I'm saying that let us proceed on the assumption that other candidates were distributing stuff and the one who won didn't. You proceed to annul the results on the basis of your investigations. How would that be fair to the individual rights of the person who won?
But the investigations would have shown that the one who won did not.
It doesn't matter, but the elections would have been tainted.
Yes, but the one who won.
When the party proceeded to investigate or set up a committee to investigate, it did not proceed on the assumption that Baba Jamal was the one given gifts. Was that what the party told?
No,
absolutely not. So why are you limiting it to Baba Jamal?
I'm not. I'm
just telling you that the party proceeded on the basis that there were issues or irregularities associated with the process.
True.
They were investigating. So the investigation could have gone anyway. And I'm saying that people were calling for annulment. Let us proceed on the assumption that it was found out that Baba Jamal did not do anything. Other candidates rather did something.
Right.
So we proceed to annul an election Baba Jamal had done.
But if he's found out not to have done anything, then that's it. He's won.
The party was not investigating individuals. They were investigating the process of vote buying. And that's the mistake you are making. The party in this statement did not say that Baba Jamal engaged in vote buying or Hajia engaged in vote buying.
It says it is investigating the entire process. And based on the assumption you are making, if the one who won is found out not to have engaged in any of these acts, then the person has won. Others did, but they lost.
No, so you see, that's the mistake you are making. It's about the integrity of the process. It's about if the election is tainted, it is tainted. It's about the integrity of the process. So if you penalize the person who has won fairly on the basis of the fact that others gave gifts, you'll be treated as being unfair to that person.
Right.
Is that not the case?
That is.
And that's why I'm asking. So juxtapose that against a situation where Baba Jamal had contested, didn't engage in any acts of irregularities, won the elections, and other 4 aspirants were engaged in that. The party would have been minded to still, because the principle is voter buying, a principal position against vote buying. So the party would have still been minded to say that, look, because 4 or 5 people engage in this and tarnish the image of the election, we need to show to the Ghanaian people that we don't entertain this, so we have to rerun the election again. That would have been the outcome. So it's not about, and the person involved would have suffered, unfortunately, though he didn't engage in any form of voter buying or vote buying.
A judge ordered a rerun of an entire constituency based on the outcome of 41 polling stations.
And we justified it. Are you getting the point?
Isn't this similar?
It is similar, but I'm telling you that we justified on the basis of what? Why did we justify it? Why do you think we justified it and defended that decision at the High Court? Because it was about the integrity of the process. So you may have innocent players, but the integrity of the process demands that you annul it.
Collateral damage.
Collateral damage. And I'm telling you that. So the party took all that into consideration.
Very well. One question.
No, but
the committee recommended the annulment, but the party said it was unable to.
No. You see, you need to contextualize the discussions, my brother. Truly,
that's what the GS said.
Yes,
that's what your general secretary said. That the investigative
committee said that. The report is there. The investigative committee said that based on the evidence available to them, they would proceed to recommend annulment, but also proceeded to say, however, their recommendation is annulment, but however, these are the difficulties in annulling the election results that the party has to consider, and forwarded same to the party.
Very well.
So if you say they recommended annulment of the results without proceeding to also point out the technical difficulties that made annulment impossible, you are presenting only a partial aspect of the report. But you see, Kojo, for me, it is not about NDC or NPP in this matter. The technical difficulties the committee, and that's why I said that I wanted us to approach it with that nationalistic view.
Very well, very well.
The technical difficulties associated with the whole process has come out. One, there's a discussion as to whether or not even vote buy within political party, intra-political party activities constitute a crime. I am listening to so many people who argue that it is not a crime. Others say it is a crime. Others say there's no direct law in our country that regulates that activity. It's a moral responsibility. And we have to consider going the extra mile of legislating to ensure that we criminalize something like that. Two, there's also an important factor of going forward, whether we should be calling on all political parties to now have as part of their constitutions or election regulations a process of annulling results that are tainted, that where we don't even have to wait for the court, for somebody to take it to the court to annul. We must begin to have this discussion, especially when it comes to vote buy. I'm interested in that discussion. We need to know. And the sanctions that must follow. So if you are caught engaged in vote buying and you are suspended or you are taken away from the contest, must it end there? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so these are issues I think that we should have, because the NDC obviously, with every form, with every iota of sincerity, we tried. But these were the bottlenecks on our way. These were the bottlenecks.
I intentionally gave you this much time because this is from your home.
And if you mind you, another issue, another technical challenge was, the assumption was that even if Baba Jamal was engaged in vote buying, are you following? Even if Baba Jamal was engaged in vote buying, the president's letter was enough sanction of recall. So a subsequent punishment would have been too much. That was another view expressed.
Even if Baba becomes MP, definitely he will be recalled. If he becomes MP, definitely he will be recalled. So that's not.
You can't be sure.
He will serve as MP and High Commissioner.
Where in the laws of our country is that being frowned upon?
Hamza, I'm not aware. As for this one, it's not.
I'm not aware. I'm just asking you.
As for this one, it's not a punishment.
I'm just asking.
We won't accept it. We the people, we won't accept it.
Before senior comes.